why your candidate is the best and why he should be the one we should be voting for come 2023 February. So please, you have the floor, Mr. Alabi Okoyemi.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me first by appreciating the people that took out of the time to come online this night, and also to appreciate the host of the program, the man that started the challenge. And I think by the end of this program, we should be able to not just argue, but but also to learn one or two things about our candidate. I will start by saying that my candidate is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu for a lot of reasons. So out of the reasons, I'm going to pick few that I personally take to my heart. Let me start by going way back into the military era. You know, at the beginning of the struggle for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we know his struggle, his heroic efforts alongside other members of the NADECO to oust the military government and pave way for the Fourth Republic. That is a democratic Nigerian that we are living today. It was a long fight. We saw a lot of nasty things that happened to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and a host of others like Wole Soyinka, the General Akinrin Ade, Professor Bola Akinyemi and co. On their struggle to reinstate democracy in Nigeria. So basically what I'm trying to say is even before the Fourth Republic, even before Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the governor of Lagos State, he has been in the struggle back then during the military era. So let me go to the main issue now. I always believe that if I am to select a leader, it has to be a leader by antecedent. It has to be a leader that has done one or two things before. I should not be picking a leader based on what I think he will do, but based on what he has done with the capacity he has before. And luckily for me, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu served as governor of Lagos State for 8 years. So I'm going to be going through summary of what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has achieved with Lagos State as the governor that made me think that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the better candidate out of all our presidential candidates. Lagos is African commercial powerhouse and is the city of dreams where more than 20 million Nigerians called home, including a lot of candidates in this 2023 election as living in Lagos State. This Lagos State is where Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was governor, a two-term governor between 1999 and 2007. When he was the governor then, one thing that surprised me about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is that he initiated a 25-year development plan, including reforms that have improved the infrastructure, the IGR, a civil servant efficiency government, and he built foundation not just for Nigeria's biggest economy, but also one of the biggest economy in Africa. As a governor, I think Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been able to demonstrate his confidence in youth. Why did I say this? Is because when Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a governor then, he assembled what will go down in history of Nigeria as the most productive state cabinet in the country. Many of whom are currently senators, deputy governors, speakers, vice president, and minister. That is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He made a lot of selections in his cabinet. And if there's one thing that I love about his cabinet is that the cabinet came with a great sense of meritocracy without ethnic, tribal, or religious sentiment. And if a leader can come with that kind of meritocracy, that has to show you that is a leader that knows how to unify people, regardless of the capacity at hand. I could remember one time when the vice president confirmed that during Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu regime as a governor, he run an unusual government, a government that entertained a great deal of argument and so many shades of ideas. This has to show you that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is one leader, is one person that can bring diverse people together to air their own option and to bring ideas to the table, an idea that can develop. I'll be talking about a lot of things the economy, the security. I so much cherish what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu did when it comes to infrastructure, electricity, and education. But let me start with economy. The growth of Lagos State internal generated revenue was estimated, I think, on a monthly average of 600 million naira to a staggering 51 billion in 2007. At that moment, Lagos State IGR rate was standing at 468.63%, according to the CBN data. Then, in 2017, Lagos State output was about 136 billion, which is more than a third of Nigerian gross domestic product. Even at that moment, federal government were profiting from Tinubu financial wizardry. This has to show you that when it comes to the economic aspect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has proved it times without number with the capacity of Lagos State that he can do more. When he was the governor, he never owned a single month of salary. In fact, on the contrary, he renovated all the government offices and buildings, restructured the wage bill to offer additional pay to every civil servant in Lagos State. He provided health insurance coverage and replaced a degrading pension claim process with an efficient system. I could remember then when he was even paying the teachers with Oracle then. That has to show you that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has this art of bringing in technology to solve a lot of problems. I am a website developer a lot. I'm a website developer, so bringing such initiative shows that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is looking into the future. Let me quickly go into security. Tinubu is an advocate of security. So I remember when he was the governor
there. You have 2 minutes, please. Sorry, you have 2 minutes more.
Oh, no problem, sir. When he was the governor of Lagos State, then I remember then he gave birth to the Rapid Response Squad. The Rapid Response Squad was tasked with fighting crimes in Lagos State. I can remember that that was even the time that the governor of Lagos then, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, initiated this state security trust fund in order to allow the private and the public to come together and solve a lot of security. Electricity, I can remember then when Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu created the 57 local 37 LCDAs when he was having issues with Olusegun Obasanjo and Atiku Abubakar. During this time, despite all the controversies, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu sponsored the first independent power project in entire Nigeria. This project was handled by an American company, which later developed a gas-fired power plant that generated over 19 megawatts to improve electricity in Lagos State. This was the first time a state governor will be bringing out an electricity solution for his people. And electricity is not even in the state. It's not even in the state governor's list. It is at the federal level. This has to show you that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu do think beyond the smaller picture. It look at the bigger picture. I don't know if I have much time left. I want to talk about infrastructure, education, and health. I think that's the only three things I have. As the governor,
maybe you would have to hold on with that because your time has elapsed.
Okay.
And
okay.
Now, I wouldn't want to comment on any of the point that you have made, but it will be the time of Mr. Irefi to give his own remark about his own candidate. Why is your candidate the best, and what do you think we should look into the direction of Mr. Peter Obi as the next president of this country? Please, you can go ahead. You have 10 minutes, please.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. I appreciate you for taking out your time to come and handle this space. And a special thank you also to my opponent, Mr. Alabi, because what you have done today is, I must really commend you, because it is not easy, the boldness that you have shown among a support base that are scared of coming out to defend their candidates. So I must commend you for having the courage to come and defend, who you are supporting. So without further ado, let me go straight to the points. And why I am here today is to tell every Nigerian that Peter Obi is the man for Nigeria. It is non-negotiable. It is not something that we have to second guess. It is not something that we have to think twice. And why? Why do I say this? Now let's talk about governance. Governance is the ability to manage people. Let me just put it succinctly. Governance is the ability to manage people, to manage culture, traditions, norms, the ability to integrate all these things and make them productive. That is governance. And what facilitates governance? Leader. Who is a leader? There are leaders and there are good leaders, you know. Any bum can wake up tomorrow and pay people money, you know, and they start following him and he become their leader. It takes more than that for you to be somebody that people believe in. You be somebody that gives the people hope. Now, Idi Amin, people like Idi Amin, Adolf Hitler, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, these people are leaders, you know, and you can't deny the fact that they are leaders. But you're not going to put them on the same pedestal with people like Barack Obama of the US, Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore, and bringing it to Africa. Cannot talk about great leadership or good leadership without talking about Paul Kagame of Rwanda. He's not on the same pedestal with the likes of our own president, President Muhammadu Buhari. So you have leadership, you have leader, and then you have good leader. And Peter Obi is not just a leader. Peter Obi is a good leader. Peter Obi is a great leader. What makes a great leader? I'm going to quickly highlight the qualities that make a great leader, and hopefully, by the time I conclude, we should be able to agree that Peter Obi ticks all the boxes. Firstly, integrity. A true leader must have integrity. Two is acceptability, capacity, track record, accountability, and visionary. How many did I mention? I think 5 or 6. So I'll start from the top. Integrity. Integrity is in governance. I think it is the first box you have to tick if you're coming to run for public office, because the people have to see through you. You have to be somebody that sees A and it is A. You have to be somebody that you are a straightforward person. You have to be somebody that people can vouch for you on certain things that you can do or certain things that you can't. Integrity simply means the honesty and moral principle. You know, someone being a very honest person and having a strong moral principle, strong moral upbringing. You know, and Peter Obi has demonstrated a very high level of integrity. I'm going to give an example. Currently, Peter Obi is the only ex-governor who does not draw pension from the state coffers. Peter Obi is the only governor who has not been invited by EFCC for misappropriation of funds. Peter Obi is the only executive officer in a high-ranking public institution to reject bogus payments in allowances and salaries. This was when he was the chairman as the Securities Exchange Commission, where he was given a package of over 500 million naira, which he declined because it was bogus, and felt that these monies should be used to solve other issues in the country. I doubt that a typical Nigerian will do this, or a typical Nigerian leader. You have states like Akwa Ibom where they are paying their ex-governors over 300 million naira pension annually. You know? So you see that it's not sustainable. So that is on integrity. We talk about accountability. Sorry, acceptability. Peter Obi is amongst the 4 major candidates today. Peter Obi is by far the most accepted, and it is not negotiable. With the 1 million man march that has been happening since 4 months till this point, Peter Obi has shown that he is unarguably the most accepted. In Sokoto, in Kebbi, in Umuahia, in Ogun State, in Ibadan, every single state, the 36 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, including the FCT, they felt the obedient march. They have felt the obedient movement. They are still feeling it. So that is that unacceptability. You cannot claim to be acceptable and then your people are holding marches for you in just one state, one region. You are not contesting to be the president of a region or a state. You have to show your spread. You have to show that you are accessible to every corner of Nigeria, and people show their belief. People show their trust in you by coming out to show solidarity. Capacity. A true leader must have the capacity. And capacity, I will simply define capacity as having a good mental and physical ability.
Please, you have 2 minutes more.
Okay.
A minute more, please. A minute more.
Okay. Talk about mental and physical ability. Peter Obi has, in the last 4 months, traversed the entire continent or the entire world, while traveling around does not prove that, does not guarantee that one is physically healthy. It is actually an indicator. It removes every doubt, because you have candidates that don't move, those presenting doubts in their ability, their mental state. We cannot ascertain at this point what their mental situation is, what their physical condition is. And then let me just quickly, accountability. You need a leader who will take responsibility for all his actions. You cannot say you developed a certain state, and then when they bring when you want to prove that you built a certain place, you bring all the good parts, to claim that this is what you did.
Okay.
But when they bring the other parts,
anyway, to be fair to Mr. Alabi, so let's just pause it there. Now, I think that we've not gotten the vibe that we want yet. So please, I will still allow you to speak now anyway, but this time around you will have 2 minutes to defend this point.
okay.
Yeah, talking about integrity, the Pandora Papers, the biggest cross-border collaboration of journalists in history, which goes into an investigation to amounts of previously hidden offshore companies, exposing secrets of assets, confidential deals, and hidden fortunes of the super rich people, which Mr. Peter Obi happens to be one of those indicted in this issue. When Mr. Peter Obi was confronted with this allegation, he told Premium Times that, "I am sure you two will not like to pay inheritance tax if you can avoid it." How do you rate his integrity after this? You have 2 minutes, please.
Okay. First of all, you need to answer this question. Was there a wrongdoing in his action? I don't know if you want to answer that.
No, I'm just a moderator. I'm asking you a question. So please.
There's a difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion. What Peter Obi did is completely legal. What he did is what
for the sake of the listeners, can you give us the difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion?
Okay, tax avoidance is where you have, okay, let me start from tax evasion. Tax evasion is when you have already made businesses or you have already made transactions that are taxable, and then you move these funds that you're supposed to remit to the government, you take them out to whatever offshore account or however you want to prevent the government from having their hands on it. While tax avoidance is not engaging in whatever transaction that will make you pay tax. So I don't know if you understand, but what Peter Obi did was tax avoidance, because
what do you think there will be an indictment in any way?
He was not indicted. He was not indicted.
Okay.
His name just showed up in Pandora papers. Definitely, there were a lot of people that they are Saudi kings and all of that. Their name showed up in the Pandora papers. Does it mean, or did it mean that they are guilty of anything? It was just a document that showed that certain people were hiding certain amounts of money in so place. It is not a crime to hide money. You can't tell a person what to do with their money, So Peter Obi did not do any wrong. There was no wrongdoing. EFCC invited him, and to be very clear, the monies that they are talking about were transactions that Peter Obi made before he became governor. When EFCC invited him, they traced these transactions down to 1996, and he used the property he bought in London, a £1 million property he bought in London in 1996, which was around the same time, to prove that around the time these monies were moved around, this was the same time he bought this house in London. So
Mr. Irefi, okay. So I think in your previous comments, you made mention of it that Peter Obi stands to be the only person that have never been invited by the FCC. So let's put it there and then move to Mr. Alabi. Mr. Alabi Okoyemi, can you hear me, please?
Loud and clear, sir.
Yeah. Please, how do you rate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's antecedents when it comes to the ability to manage people? Can you give us a clear-cut examples of what he has done to be able to manage people, and then of course that makes him deserving of the Nigerian president's status?
Okay, sir. Thank you. First of all, I would love to expatiate on integrity that my co-debater just mentioned. Integrity goes way beyond what people see, what people don't see. Sorry, it's about what you have on ground. I wouldn't want to dive into the opposition's name or try to make this thing raw than how it should be, but let me come back to your questions. One of the greatest investments is investing in people. For example, we are all child of someone's father, someone's mother. Why is it that our mothers and our fathers, they see it more valuable for them to invest in us than in any other thing? It is simple, so that at the end of the day, we are going to be more productive to them. I have not seen any leader, I repeat, I have not seen any leader in the history of Africa that has invested in people like Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Currently, you can point at people that has worked with Asiwaju that are local government chairmen today. You can point at people that has worked with Asiwaju that are House of Representatives, that are House of Assembly members, that are senators, that are ministers, commissioners, deputy governors, governors. This is what we call human capacity. This is what we call human infrastructure. If Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu could use his cabinet in Lagos State to develop people up to an extent, people that have worked under Asiwaju before, one of them will be vice president, and one of them is the speaker today. You have to give it to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Currently, the four most powerful office in the Federal Republic of Nigeria is the president, the vice, the speaker, and the Senate.
Okay.
Today, my brother. Sorry. Please, can I just find it?
Okay. I'm coming. Let me come here, please.
Okay.
Let me come here.
Go ahead, Mr.
And when you say develop people, do you mean, please mute your mic, Irufi, please. You guys mute your mics, please. Let's don't have this feedback. All right, thank you. Alabi, when you say develop people,
excuse me.
Adetola, please, can you mute?
Who is on? Okay. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, okay. Alabi, when you say develop people, I want to ask you a question. Are you talking about develop politicians that are going to be beneficial to him as a person, or talking about developing the people of Lagos? Because if we look at Lagos for the past 23 years, Lagos have the highest number of, why call it touts or aberos on the street. I don't understand when you say develop people. Is it by creating set of people that when you need them to work for you, then you say you've developed people to occupy positions in governance? How has his human capital development for the people affected individuals in Lagos? I want you to give me those statistics vis-a-vis education, vis-a-vis healthcare, vis-a-vis I will give you an instance now. The guy that did the Chest in the Slum project, today I can look at that guy and say this is what human capital development is. That's a common man doing things for people that he has never met before. So if you're doing things for me as a person, let's say you're doing things for someone that you need his service or his help tomorrow, I don't see that as human capital development. I see it as you investing in project that you want to do. So please explain that to me. How has he developed the Lagosians that we see every day? Please go and you can go on, please, my brother. Bless you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for this question. First of all, you said Lagos State has a number of highest bureau. I don't know where you got the statistics from, and I'll be very happy if you can present a very verified statistic for me that proves that Lagos State has high numbers of bureau. I just hope that is not a fantasy from some part of your head. So now, let me continue with the question you asked me. That how has Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's policies and human development capacity develop people in Lagos State? It is simple. See, let me just go into education. You know, when Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was vying to become the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, he promised that 25% of his budget and allocation will be allocated, 25% of the budget will be allocated into the education. Do you know that in July 2000, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu launched a free educational program in Lagos State that saw about 1.5 million children in over 900 primary schools and 597 students from secondary school benefited from free educational program. So if you don't want me to talk about how he has invested in politicians, I would gladly tell you how he has invested in children of different mothers and fathers. As of 2000, of year 2000, he has invested in over 2 million children by investing in the educational sectors. And apart from that, he later became the first governor. Listen to me. He later became the first governor in Nigeria to have invested about 127 million naira in scholarship to tertiary institutions in Lagos State. So if you don't want me to talk about the politician he has helped to get into power, then I have to talk about the people he has helped in using the health sector, using the educational sector, using the security sector. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is an human development. Sorry, I want to divert to Peter Obi. Peter Obi, as the governor of Anambra State, he has the deputy governor, he has a secretary, the chief of staff, he has about 16 commissioner and special advisors. Where are they today? Where are they today? Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a leader that will plant you, that will wet you, that will reap you, and guide you until you grow to your full status. If Peter Obi was a good leader then, I'm very sure that a lot of people that were with him then will be with him now. That has to show you that the man even lack what we call continuity. I'm very sorry if I'm diving into it, but I'm going to go back to your question. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been a
Alabi, 2 minutes done. I just wanted to come back.
Can I take it from there, please, Saddam?
Aditola, you take for me. I wanted to clear something because when we
Please,
I want it to be a start and fact-based discussion because people are listening, people are hearing. Because I said something here earlier on when I said I gave a statistics and he said I took it off my head. Lagos State, I repeat, Lagos State is the
Okay.
state with the highest number of touts.
Okay.
It's on record. You could go check statistics. It's on Google. People are already sending my DMs, filling my DMs up. So you can always do your own. I'm not going to come here and say what isn't fact.
I'm just asking for a simple
So
fact, sir. Just a simple link to verify that.
Probably
Can I get it now?
I asked you a question based on facts.
Then I need a
I'll give you,
question. I need an answer to confirm that you're asking me a question based on facts, sir.
So that why I'm going there is because I want to understand when you say human capital development.
Is my answer satisfactory enough, or should I go on? Or
so I think Saddam, can I take it from there?
Gaditola, please take it from here.
Okay. Mr. Urefi. But I think
I'm with you.
Yeah, I think it is critical that we look into some issues, that would at least encourage some of our voters to know the direction at which they would go. Now, comparing Asiwaju's leadership period when he was the governor of Lagos State, and then of course Mr. Peter Obi's leadership period when he was the governor of Anambra State, what are the things that you think he has done positively? One, to build people. Two, to improve the economy of Anambra State. And then three, also to provide adequate security during his period as the governor of Anambra. Because today now we talk about, hold on please. Today now we talk about Asiwaju. I look at Lagos as a model to not only Nigeria, but of course Africa. And it is being said that if Lagos should be a country, in Africa, Lagos would be the 5th largest economy. So what do you think Mr. Peter Obi did during his tenure as governor of Anambra State? Please go ahead. Mr. Obi,
Network.
Please. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? Did you get my question?
Last part of your question. Do as
the later part of my question. Well, it's just a summary of the question I have asked. That, of course, looking into Asiwaju's leadership as the governor of Lagos State, in comparison with Peter Obi's leadership as governor of Anambra State, judging with the fact that Lagos is now a model not only to other states in Nigeria, but of course, as a country, if Lagos should be a country in Africa, it will be regarded as the 5th largest economy. And this cannot be done or be said if not for the leadership of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So, what are the things? What are the things that you think?
Sorry, please. Adetola, please. Please, we should.
You had your time. You had your time. Let me. I'm just asking a question. Please let.
No, please. I'm saying you could ask Irufi questions. I'm going to be asking Alabi questions.
Okay, go ahead, please.
So you can go. No, go on. I just wanted to let's put this straight, please. So you could ask Irufi the questions while I ask.
Yeah, I think that used to be that's the plan. So please go ahead.
Okay, go on, please. No, it's Irufi's turn, so you could ask him. Go on.
Go ahead, Irufi. Please answer.
Okay, your question is what Peter Obi did as governor, his achievements as governor. Well, firstly, Peter Obi is known to be very frugal. He's known to be a manager of resources. And one of the highlights of his time as governor of Anambra State was the sovereign fund that he created, investing in international brands, international companies, where he creating history to become the first West African nation to, or rather the first West African state to create a sub-sovereign fund. What is a sub-sovereign fund? It is always associated with countries. It is not states that create sub-sovereign funds. These are like bonds. These are like bonds that governments sell out to foreign investment. This is something that no other governor in Nigeria has. he was raised in investment in both in local and foreign.
If you are losing your connection, I don't know what's wrong. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, another highlight of Peter Obi's governor of Anambra State is in education. By the time Peter Obi took over as the governor of Anambra State, it was one of the worst performing states in the WAEC. It ranked 24th in 2005 WAEC examination. And by 2014, when Peter Obi left, Anambra State was the first. And since 2014 up till last year, WAEC and NECO exams, Anambra has ranked between the first three. Talk about sustainability. Another highlight of Peter Obi's career as governor is his achievement in health, in the health sector. You know, when Peter Obi became the governor of Anambra State, there were only two hospitals that had partial accreditation in Anambra State. All the hospitals or health facilities in Anambra were either under-equipped, underfunded, and partially or totally not accredited. But by the time he left government, the 12 major hospitals and health centers in Anambra were fully accredited. He built the University of Anambra State University Teaching Hospital because the school was not accredited for their medical department because they did not have a university teaching hospital. But Peter Obi built from scratch the Odumegwu Ojukwu University. He built it from scratch, and today Anambra State University produces medical doctors. If you go to Adazi-Nnukwu, there's a heart center that Peter Obi built there. This was in 2011, around 2011. He provided over 2 billion naira for the construction and equipping of a world-class heart center where they have performed many heart replacement surgeries. And this was a first in Nigeria. So apart from rehabilitating hospitals, he has built hospitals from scratch. So another achievement of Peter Obi's governance is in economy. And one of the talking points is Sabmila. I'm sure you've heard about it. I'm sure a lot of us has heard about it. So he attracted Sabmila, which is as at the time, it was the second largest brewery in the world. And currently it is the largest brewery in the world. So he was able to attract investments from this South African company, you know, where they invested heavily. And Anambra State government has about 12% stake in their Nigeria franchise, which is valued at over $100 million currently. Then another achievement of his Excellency Peter Obi in economy is his investment in Innoson. He has always been an advocate for local investments, buying local produce to grow the Naira. So while Innoson was still starting up his manufacturing company, Peter Obi pre-ordered 1,000 vehicles. Pre-ordered, you know. They did not have these vehicles manufactured because Peter Obi was trying to grow this business. He pre-ordered these vehicles, paid upfront. And currently now we can see how Innoson is doing. You know, it is like the #1 locally produced car in Nigeria, and they are supplying cars to major African countries. Another highlight, which is not spoken enough, is Peter Obi's achievements in security. A lot of us know about the insecurity that marred Anambra State before in the early 2000s, the time of Chinwoke Mbadinuju and Chris Ngige. Peter Obi came in and his first task was to secure the state. Anambra was a den of armed robbers, thieves, kidnappers. Within a month, Peter Obi galvanized all the security forces, equipped them, fully equipped them, funded them fully. And within 1 year, Anambra State was very, very clear. And by 2014, when he left, the Inspector General of Police actually affirmed that Anambra State was the most secure, the most stable state in the country.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Irefi. So, Saddam, do you have a question or I should proceed?
I think you should proceed.
Okay, Mr. Alabi.
Okay, sir.
Now, what exactly do you think Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has to offer Nigerians?
Okay, sir. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a product that we all know about. He has a lot to offer Nigeria. When I started the introduction earlier, I made mention of about some key factors: the economy, the electricity, the security, the infrastructure, the education, the health. Asiwaju has proven time without numbers that he is the only solution for Nigeria. You know, if there's one thing I cherish about Asiwaju, it is continuity. You know, we need a leader that can attain that position, and anytime he leaves, his legacy can continue. Out of all the presidential candidates we have at the moment, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the only man that has demonstrated that with his previous office. And if there's one of the things that we should be expecting from Asiwaju, is that Asiwaju is not a greedy politician. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not an over-ambitious politician. Let me give you an example. Since the inception of the fourth democracy, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has metamorphosed the Alliance of Democracy to the AC, to the ACN, now into APC. You won't hear about Asiwaju jumping from one political party to another. Unfortunately, you can't say that about Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has been moving from PDP to APC to ACN. And Peter Obi, despite that, Ojukwu trusted him enough to hand him, he handed over Abiga to him. But Peter Obi, because of his selfish interest, because of his greediness, he moved to become the running mate to this Atiku that most Labour Party are castigating today. And from that position, he has moved to Labour Party. And I'm telling you with 100% assurance that the moment the next president of Nigeria, inshallah, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is announced, Peter Obi will be moving from Labour Party to another party.
Now, a quick response. I want you to give a quick response to what Mr. Alabi said. Do you think the inconsistency in jumping from one party to the other should matter in our election?
Okay, it's very funny when you're talking about P2B and inconsistency when the chief culprit is your leader. Bola Tinubu started from AD, from SDP, Social Democratic Party, with what is his name, Abiola. He then moved to AD, Alliance for Democracy, which then metamorphosed into Action Congress, and then from Action Congress, APC. How many political parties did I call now? 4. And the entire P2B political career is 3 political parties, and you're talking about inconsistency.
Mr.
Can I come in?
Please,
can I come in? Can I come in, please?
Yes.
Please, I think English is the problem of my opponent. When you say metamorphose, it means you are not jumping from one political party to another. It means you are upgrading. That is what we call metamorphose. I think you should go on.
That has been clarified.
Okay. You have to floor, sir.
Mr. Rafe, do you have an objection? Mr. Alabi has raised the fact that moving from one party to the other cannot be said to be the same when you are moving from a particular.
Why are you trying to shift the goalpost, my brother?
Okay.
I only mentioned is one scenario of metamorphosis here.
Okay.
That is from AD to AC. SDP still exists today.
When
Tinubu is in APC.
When I made my points, section of the Fourth Republic, and the Fourth Republic, as the inception of Fourth Republic, the Fourth Republic, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu started with Alliance for Democracy. which metamorphosed into AC and SEN. So what I said initially was inception of fourth democracy. Probably you lack history. That's one of the reasons why you are not able to get that. Inception of fourth republic.
Okay. My friend, you're not going to set a spectrum that is going to favor your candidate. Was Tinubu a member of the SDP? Yes or no? He was. Was he a member of Alliance for Democracy? He was.
No. I am not disputing that, sir. I am not disputing that.
Say from Fourth Republic? Whenever time.
I am not disputing that.
His political career.
I am not disputing that, sir.
Certain point in different political parties.
I am not.
You cannot give a frame or a spectrum or a time that you want to judge your candidates. It is that is not how it works.
Okay.
You're using the entire of this career. Why don't you start political career?
I said
it will be better if we please hold on, guys. Hold on, guys.
Inception of Fourth Republic. Since the inception of Fourth Republic, Peter Obi has moved from ABGA to PDP to Labour Party.
Why do you have to adjust it from the inception of Fourth Republic?
My point. You are the one to come with the counter.
In the Third Republic, for we aliens that were living in Nigeria, in the Third Republic. No. See, what I don't understand why you have to limit it to the Fourth Republic.
I decided to do that because it is my point. It is my flaw.
Politician in the Third Republic.
I don't need to do what you want. It is my flaw. It is my point.
Let's leave it
that
way.
Please, can I reply to Alabi on that? Because I don't think Irefi is doing justice to
the question. You will have your time. You have your time, please.
Do we have two challengers now, or
you have your time? So now, in terms of Mr. Irefi, I want to ask you a quick question. Now, one of the issues that has been raised so far in the length and breadth of this country is the issue of structure. Now, people want to understand how a presidential candidate can win an election without the proper structure. Maybe this would be a better platform for you to educate people how they would go about this, in terms of probably House of Representatives member, Senate, or state legislative arm too, that there is no representation whatsoever, or perhaps little or more representation by the Labour Party. How do you think that Mr. Obi would go about it to win this forthcoming election?
I don't know if you want me to reveal the tactics of the Labour Party. I don't understand what you mean by how will Peter Obi win. You're asking for structure. The people that you're seeing, are they aliens? Are they robots? All the obedience that you're seeing online and offline, are they robots? These are people. These are the structure. So when you say what structure is he going to win with? I don't understand. You have to explain what you mean by structure. If human beings are not the actual structure, then what is the structure?
Well, anyway, our democracy, let me just clarify this part. Our democracy has matured to this extent anyway, for us to understand what constitutes victory during the polls. And of course, it might be a representation of illusion if we keep judging by 1 million, 2 million, or 10 million match, regardless of the party that is involved. Most importantly, we know of a record that we are 200 million people in this country, and at the end of each election, for instance, in 2019 election, we ended up having about 15 million voters who voted for the president, and now we really feel there is a strong connection between the majority and democracy. So regardless of the number that we see online or offline, what we are dealing with is actually the actual voters, which deals with the palpation, which deals with the proper structure, which you may want to move away from. This is a question that you can answer, and I feel I would push it to Alabi Okoyemi to see if Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the necessary structure to win the 2023 elections?
Before you Alabi answers this question, let me make it very, very clear to you. You know, this has been the narrative that you guys have been trying to create from the word go. Peter Obi has no structure. Peter Obi has no structure. We showed you people the structure. He showed you the structure. Now you are trying to alienate the fact that people are coming out en masse to show support for Peter Obi. You're trying to invalidate the fact that people are coming out to show force. At the end of the day, these people, yes, it is not all of them that have PVCs, but there are people that have PVCs. If it was very irrelevant, why is Tinubu or why are his people conducting million marches in Lagos too? This is politics. We all understand. We know the relevance of show of force. We know that out of the 1 million people that come out to march, probably only 300,000 will vote. That is it.
Exactly. I quite agree with you. I quite agree with you. That is the reason for asking the question of structure.
You cannot start asking structure. Where is the structure when you are already seeing the structure?
Can I comment?
Can we allow Mr. Alabi to also give his opinion on this? Please go ahead.
Okay, this is according to facts and figures. The last time Peter Obi tried to show his structure was the last election he contested in Anambra State. The total result was about 298,000 people voted for the governor of Anambra. Do you know how many people voted for Peter Obi? 98,000 people voted for Peter Obi out of the 290 something people that voted. This has to show you it was because
291 people that voted where?
The last election, sir, you can confirm it. 90 something thousand people already voted for Peter Obi out of the 298,000 people that voted. You can confirm it, sir.
290,000 people voted who? That's what I'm asking.
They did not vote who? Out of the total vote, sir. The total vote was 290 something thousand people. Out of the 290 something thousand people, 90 something thousand voted Peter Obi. I don't know if you get my calculation.
What election are you talking about? What election are you talking about?
The last election he contested, that was independently as a governor, the second time. You can confirm it.
His last election
as the governor, independently. I made it clear. Sir. You can confirm it.
How is that consequential to what we are talking about?
I have not answered my question. I have not answered my question. Let me answer the question.
That is the underlying factor.
Let me answer the question.
Gabriel and Otumba. So we have to approve one of them to give an opinion, but I will give you 30 seconds, please, Mr. Alabi, to make your point.
Okay, please. I was about giving the fact before he interrupted me. I said the last time he tried to show structure was when he contested his second time in his office as the governor of Anambra. Out of the 280 or 90,000 people that voted, only 90-something thousand people voted. That has to show you that out of the people in Anambra, a large number of people did not even believe in Peter Obi. The vote was divided,
my friend, first of all, this your claim is not verifiable. It is not verified.
Mr.
And then secondly, if out of 219,000 people, if out of 290,000 people, 98,000 voted him, it means that he scored about 50% of the vote.
The vote was divided.
Muhammadu Buhari in the last election scored only about 30% of the vote. So if Peter Obi can score up to 50% of the votes, I don't understand what you're trying to say when you say only like something thousand. You are going to talk about the proportion. It's relative. 90-something thousand as compared to what? You don't just say only 90-something thousand voted for Peter Obi as compared to what?
Okay, Mr. Refi, please. I think let's allow our listeners to also have one or two to say in this discussion. So I would approve Kenny Stick VIP.
Sorry, can I respond? I've been here waiting.
Sorry, please. You can go ahead now.
Thank you very much. First off, I think, how many minutes do I have so I can time myself?
You have 2 minutes.
All right. First off, I think obedience needs to be careful of something during election seasons. When you see something that looks like a trap and a setup, you should look between the lines. This is not a fair debate, and I don't think Mr. Irefi is doing justice to His Excellency Peter Obi, number one. Number two, talking about moving around political parties. You see somebody that jumps from one political party to another. I see a man who has principles. When he's in a political party and he realizes that their principles do not, their policies do not align with his own principles, he leaves and he goes to a place where he can actually thrive and his principles can be accepted. We saw that happen when he moved from PDP to ABGA. We saw it when they were trying to impose Willie Obiano on him in ABGA, and he left and he went back to the PDP. The moment the PDP started moving mad, he left again. This is a man that has balls and confidence. When you talk about Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, first off, I don't like calling him Asiwaju. He's not Asiwaju of anybody. He's a man who found a political party where he could establish himself, make himself the godfather and dictate the policies, and then install governors on Lagos State. This is no fair debate. Mr. Irefi, I don't know what you're up to, but honestly, you're not doing justice to His Excellency Peter Obi. And if anybody can allow me, I can go ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being precise.
Please, can I come in? Can I come in? Can I make some comment on what you just said, please?
Okay, you have 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry, if he's going to make a comment that I cannot respond to, maybe I better drop, because this topic has already been treated. He has already addressed it. Why does he get the chance to respond twice?
Okay, that's fine, please.
Okay, no
problem. Thank you very much. Thank you, People's Parliament. Honestly, as a moderator here, I'm not meant to say stuff. I'm just here to listen and comment while the others speak. But honestly, I am saying this because Mr. Irefi, you're not doing justice. I've sent you a lot of DMs.
No, please, can we allow
Aditola, I'm coming, please. I'm speaking, please. I'm speaking. I've allowed you to speak. Just please, thank you. Honestly, I feel like in a debate, it should be something that everybody has a chance to speak. Irefi probably might have his points, but he's not debating here. That's my own comment.
If you're going to allow me respond to that,
can we not try to motivate
that?
Well, I can.
So please, let's get more opinion. Let's get more opinion
right now.
Let me quickly address this. Please, let me quickly address.
We want to hear from our listeners too, so that we can.
No, somebody said something to me. Just give me 30 seconds. Let me address it.
Please do.
You understand?
Please do.
So, okay. When you say I'm not doing justice to certain things, is it that I'm not making the points, or I'm not substantiating the claims? I don't have to shout, I don't have to be at the top of my voice to make a point. If I make a point here, you verify them. You don't just say I'm not doing justice because I'm not shouting or I'm not being condescending or offensive. We all have the way we approach people. I am here to state facts. Everything I said here is verifiable. So I don't have to be at the top of my voice before you understand that I'm debating. That is not how I debate. I engage with facts and figures.
Okay, thank you. Please, can we have Mr. Otsumba? Otsumba, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I think I just wanted to respond to what Saddam said. I think I think I don't know you, brother. I think I follow you. I think you have a large following. But I think this idea of debating, first of all, debating back at this point is a waste of time for we obedience. It's a waste of time. We flogged this issue 2 months, 3 months ago. We're in campaign season. I don't expect to start. Even Bat will never come and debate Peter Obi. So why would I waste my time and debate Bat? Yeah, maybe Atiku will debate Atiku, but not Bat. To me, it's a waste of time. It feels like a trap. It feels like a way to whitewash Bola Tinubu's. And imagine going back to election numbers as to show structure now. Like, how does that even sound like common sense? Like, it makes no logical sense. You're using numbers in election in 2011. Is the number is it the same 2011 and 20? We're in 2023. How does that even correlate? How does that square? It was an ABGA. It's in Labour Party now. It's different. So that already tells you this whole debate is in bad faith. entirely.
Okay,
So
we've gotten your point.
whitewashing. This is just whitewashing. This is an attempt to whitewash Bola Tinubu's image.
Okay,
Let's go back to the
can we feel that? Let's have others too, please. Thank you so much, Mr. Tumba. And please, I would like to have Eniola Olawale.
Adetola, please. What I'll say here is this, please. I think you know APC guys. It has already started for me. Honestly, I'm not in that game of debates with bad people. I've been doing that for the past few months, and I cannot see Bola Tinubu coming out to debate himself. But I will say for this night, we have already started it. We're not going to run from this challenge.
Exactly.
Bad boys are up here. Call those bad boys up. For me, this challenge has gone beyond the referee. Let these bad boys come up here. Let's have fact-based debates. Call them up here. Let us have this debate. I have people that are ready to.
Respectfully, Saddam. Respectfully, you. This is my space. Respectfully, if you want to hold something similar to this, you call your. You already have something like this. Earlier you were talking, and then you mentioned erroneously mentioned the name of your space. Probably you forgot that. So you cannot come to my space and then tell me that it has gone.
Obedience, get out of here. This is a plan. Oyedefi is in on it. Get out of this nonsense.
I am in on what? I don't understand.
Please.
What the fuck? Are you okay?
Please, Mr. Referee, please.
Are you okay?
And then manage.
So I have to shout. I have to shout like a madman before you know that I'm debating. I have to shout like
Can I come in here, guys? Can I come in here, please?
Does that make sense in any way? Did I make any statement here that is not factual?
Okay,
I have to shout.
Can you
before
stand
you can understand that I'm communicating.
Are you okay?
You're very, very stupid.
It's okay.
You're very, very stupid.
Can you hear me?
You're telling me that I'm who? I'm among who? You're very, very stupid.
Control your emotions now. Calm down.
No, you're very, very stupid. You didn't know that you control your emotion when you opened your stinking mouth to tell me that
calm down. I'm not the one.
Mr. Referee.
I'm in on what? I don't have to raise my voice before you understand. Okay, I should raise my voice now, as I'm raising my voice now.
Yeah, you are raising your voice now.
No, I'm now communicating now that I'm raising my voice. I don't understand.
It's okay, Mr. Referee, please.
And somebody is coming down to list out his points.
Okay,
you're saying I'm not doing just.
Listen, guys.
You're not doing that. Did I say anything here that P2B did not do? Or did I say anything here that is contrary to what obedience believing?
Mr. Referee, this is your space, please.
I don't have to shout. I don't have to raise my voice before you understand the point that I'm trying to make. I find it appalling and totally disrespectful.
Hello, you make your point known. Relax.
I am trying to logically engage somebody. This is a discussion. I know the reason why I hosted this space.
Yes, exactly. So
no. Please, leading up to this space, I made it clear that we're going to engage intellectually and not the usual matters.
I'm sure our listeners have.
So wait, relax.
2 points.
Your space, you have a violent space where people come and shout and do all of that. I created this space so that I can engage logically.
So it's
intellectually with somebody that is in the opposition.
Debate.
So you cannot come and tell me I'm not doing justice because I have to act in the way that you have been hosting your space.
Your last word.
So everybody now has to talk in the way that violent space has their this thing. I don't understand what you mean. That is totally disrespectful.
Mr. Alabi.
I told this space to engage somebody logically. If you have been following my tweets, you will see where I made it clear that I want to talk with a Tinubu supporter. I want to talk with a Tinubu supporter and listen to them. Let us align on an intellectual basis.
And this is what we are supposed to do, and that's what we are trying to do.
I'm having low battery.
No. Let me tell you. Wait.
I don't have to because I have low battery now. You understand?
I don't have to raise my voice for you to get my point. This is my space.
Okay.
I know the reason why I decided I called on this guy so that we can discuss. Let me hear from him and let me hear from. I'm not doing it for media. I'm not doing it for clout.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Can you calm
understand.
down? Can you calm down and listen to other people?
Just
There are certain people.
manage
Why
your
does Bola
emotion.
Tinubu command a certain level of loyalty among his supporters?
You've made your point.
Engage intellectually. I don't have to raise my voice. I find it totally offensive, and this is the problem that I have with some of us obedient.
Okay.
You want everybody to play according to a narrative that you set. I have to just come on my own page where I'm trying to logically and intellectually engage somebody. You just want me to come and start shouting. Okay. If I don't cool down and listen.
Thank you.
So I have to shout before you hear my point. I find it totally disrespectful. And for you, the other bastard that opened your mouth to tell me that Thunder will fire you. You are a fucking bastard, and don't ever mention my mate in your mouth.
Come on,
you are very, very silly. Very, very silly. I find it totally disrespectful because the commitment I have put into this movement, I am not sure you have put 100 of it into this movement.
You have to mind it, please. You have to mind it.
You don't have any fucking right to come to my space to tell me bullshit. I know why I started this space. I know what I'm trying to information I'm trying to extract. You don't have any fucking right to come here and say you are not doing justice, you are not doing that, you are not doing this.
You made your
I'm not doing
point, my
justice,
friend.
then fuck up, get the hell.
Our great Nigeria is possible. Our great Nigeria is very possible. And useful. Obedient and useful. Our great Nigeria is possible. Our great Nigeria is very possible. For better infrastructure, for better life, yeah, my people. For better roads, yeah, for better hospitals and health, yeah. For lights today, for everything to work for us, for Nigeria. Yeah. No more hunger. Obi for better Nigeria. Obedient and useful. Obedient and useful. Oh yeah, Obi, get it. Hausa man, Yoruba man, Igbo man, Middle Belt, Niger Delta. Let us come together for better Nigeria. Get it. For better life, yeah. For better health, yeah. For better road, yeah. Get it. From consumption to production. Get it.
I think this and many more has been what we've taken away from this session. So, Mr. Alabi, I will get your point. I have several requests. I don't know if they would have to, if I would take one or two, if they're not going to revisit the issues that has been spoken about. So let me take from Dele Kuti. Dele Kuti, you have the floor, please.
You know?
So in the absence
May I come in now, please?
okay, please go ahead. You have 1 minute.
Hello.
All right, thank you. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
All right, so thank you very much. I joined in a couple of like probably 30 minutes in, and I must say for a fact, and I think the first thing I would like to say is to my friend Refi. I was one of those who actually advocated for this debate when you actually made the post. I respectfully speaking, you are the kind of individual that resonates with my thought process. If you go through my what's it called now, my Twitter handle and some of the posts and thread I make, I'm in development economics. So most of the approach to deciphering or probably addressing some of these political discourse, I always look at it from that prism. And I think I've seen a couple of posts that you made in the past, and I was like blown away. I was like, now these are kind of the individuals I like to probably engaging with. Now, so I must say for a fact that I respect you and every one of us here, over 1,000 people, either they're obedient or not, respect you. You are human, I understand. All right. Emotions can always go out of control. All right, but please, all right, try as much as possible to apply caution and break. Now, please just allow me, please. I'm not going to. All right. I'm just trying to like dance. Just relax now. Relax. Come on. All right. I'm not trying. I want to dance the tension and then allow us to actually have to take up a new trajectory in this conversation. Now, so please, I would just like to say this. If we want to go ahead with this debate, which I think we should, because we are all learning, please and please, can we raise the bar of this conversation? Personally speaking, some of the questions that have been asked so far and some of the answers that I've had, sincerely speaking, are not satisfying. Now, this is what I'm expecting. I expect I expect intellectual engagement. It is not about noise. It's noise. I expect technical, intellectual engagement.
Irregbe.
This is not violent space.
Okay.
Come and tell me that you're come on, it's your space. Just relax, okay? All right. Please. Now, so what I just want us to establish
just round up, please.
As I begin to round up, just give me 10 seconds, all right? Is that if we still want to have this conversation going forward, please, I beg of you, all right? Because we are young minds, we are intellectuals, all right? Please, and I'm saying this from both angles, from both parties. Please let us raise the bar.
Exactly.
All right? The bar is too low. The bar is too low, please.
That has been taken. Your point has been taken. Thank you so much. I will take Mr. Akerele. Yeah. Please go ahead, Mr. Akerele.
Hello. Thank you very much for the conversation. Hello.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay. I hope I'm audible enough. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful conversation, and there are certain things I need to say. But before I go further, I need to make it clear that I'm actually verified, and I'm proud BAT person. But when we talk, we should not try as much as possible to silence people into submitting to our own inclinations. It is very important that when we are talking, we should stay on fact, we should be objective. Now, there's a statistics that I have issues with that someone put out there that Lagos State has the highest number of touts. Now, this is extremely subjective. And the reason why I'm going to say it's subjective is when you are bringing out such statistics, you need to also factor in the population of Lagos State. Lagos State is the largest, is like the most populous state in Nigeria. So for you to be able to assess it objectively, you need to be able to assess it, the population of Lagos against the crime. It has to be a ratio based. And when you look at that factor from that perspective, which is more objective, in the metrics of estimating the amount of crime in a state, then you figure out that Lagos State has the lowest number of crime in comparison with the population Lagos State has. And this is very, very evident on the premise of the things that Asiwaju was able to achieve when it came in 1999. I know that a lot of us are very aware of what Lagos State was before 1999. But if we are not aware, we can tell you for a fact that the blueprint that Lagos State sees today, that we enjoy in Lagos State today, is because of the blueprint that Asiwaju was able to put in place. See, I can tell you in terms of infrastructure, because I work with Advanced Engineering Consultant. Advanced Engineering Consultant, if you look at Lagos Badagry Expressway, you can see is one of the major consultants in Lagos. Advanced Engineering Consultants has been at the forefront of planning those infrastructure since 1999, 2000, when Asiwaju came in. And all of these blueprints were set with the agenda with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I was a beneficiary of the 2000 when Asiwaju declared that all the WAEC students in Lagos State were not going to be paying. I was a beneficiary of that. That was the first year that Lagos State indigenes or anybody from anywhere around, anybody irrespective of ethnic or anywhere, are not going to be paying for WAEC. These are things that are evident.
Okay.
I don't want to, even as much as we are trying to put out there our own fact and we are trying to sell our candidate, that doesn't mean we should be dismissive of the achievement or accomplishment of the other candidates.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kerele. Thank you so much. Now, back to Mr. Irefi and then Alabi Okweyemi. So, Mr. Irefi.
I'm with you.
Mr. Adetola, are you just consciously trying to evade some? My hands have been up and you just refuse to just give me the mic.
Okay, please go ahead.
Hello.
You have 30 seconds.
And also, I've been here
30
for
seconds.
so long.
Thank you.
Nobody acknowledged.
Mr. Delve Drinks, I think I have indulged you already, but you did not say anything. But just wait, after Mr. Gabriel, then you would go ahead. Thank you so much.
Sorry, and why are you giving me 30 seconds? Because my views are not important or what? Others have been giving more time.
Yes. You have 25 seconds.
Sorry, Mr. Adetola, please. You just have to be objective and be fair to everyone.
Ahead. You have one. Go ahead.
Please. Sorry, I think I still have to go with the same narrative with Ayodeji because I believe this is a trap, and somehow the whole debate is going sideways. That's my opinion, please. And Urefi, please, just a little advice. You are in a space where people are there. A lot of people are here trying to listen. A lot of people are in the listener stations, and I expect that somehow you just control your emotions.
Okay.
Raising your voice, please, just to take it calm. There's no reason why when you shout and you raise your voice, you end up losing out in everything because that's just the point. And mind you, the whole idea of those coming from the bad station is just to make you go this way. And if people are trying to tell you that you're not doing justice, it's just for you to calm down and look at things. Maybe you can just interact and see why people are saying.
So, Mr. The Dev Drinks, I will take you, but before then, I don't know the reason why we are having this issue of trap or no trap. Mr. Refi wouldn't have opened a space to get into a trap for himself. But this is supposed to be, or perhaps it's meant to be, an intellectual discourse, which they both are having, not until we had the heated conversation. And of course, the essence of a debate is to arrive at a conclusion. Now we are making it very difficult to arrive at this conclusion because we are insinuating a trap. We are insinuating some things that we should not. This is a space that is dominated by young people. And I think the essence of it is for us to take something out of this conversation. One way or the other, those in support of BAT would have taken one thing from Alabi, and those in support of Mr. Peter Obi would have taken one or two things from Mr. Irefi too when he was listing the achievements of Mr. Peter Obi during his tenure as governor of Anambra State. So please, let's take the positives out of this whole conversation tonight, and so it won't end up being a waste of time. Now, Mr. Delve Drinks, please, let's have you. Are you there? Okay, so let me take. Okay, before then, Mr. Alabi, are you there? And Mr. Refi.
I'm here.
Yeah, please. Now, Mr. Refi, I would like to ask you, what role do you think young people would play in 2023 elections? or what role do you think they should play in 2023 election? Now, people call for, okay, go and register for PVC, go and register. Now, people have registered. Now, what is the next step? What role do you think young people should play in this 2023 election?
Okay. When you say what role are they going to play, you're already seeing the role. We are already playing this role. You know, all over the world, young people have always been the deciders of leaders. It's just in Nigeria where it so happened that we are not interested in politics because we have been sidelined for so long. We feel that we don't matter. You know, our interests have been alienated. You know, so that's why it seemed like in our democratic history, young people have not been getting involved. But what happened now is that there is a reawakening. You know, Peter Obi gave a lot of young people hope. You know, hope was just enough. Hope was like the only factor that had to make a lot of young people get up to go and register for their PVCs. You know, so and asking what young people will do, you can already see it. The 1 million march movement that is going on around Nigeria now is a movement of young people. Yes, there are a few elderly ones that join in these marches, but 90% of them are young people. So practically, young people are the support base. They are the pillar of this movement. So apart from their votes individually, young people are going to form a network of support. They are going to form that support base. They are going to galvanize more support. And as you can see, there are different support groups, you know, already going into the streets, going into rural areas. You know, these are all young people. You know, I have a support group, you know, in about 22 states of Nigeria, you know, consisted of just young people. I don't think there's any of my members that is more than 30 years old. You know, so they are every time, especially in the rural areas, you see them going everywhere trying to spread the word. You know, so that is what young people are already bringing into this movement. Apart from their votes, they are helping to spread the word. They are helping to concretize and consolidate P2B support at the base. Thank you. Can you hear me?
You actually muted me.
Okay. Can I come in now?
Sorry, but did you hear me?
Sorry, can I
I think
still? Can you guys hear me? Or am I the only one not
Yes,
hearing? Okay, sorry. So I think for fairness and balance, okay, it's wisdom demands that we have another co-host, okay, since the earlier co-host is no longer here, so that we can be able to have a balanced conversation going forward. That's if we still want to continue this debate. Thank you.
I was erroneously muted by the host. So I mean, you couldn't hear me. I couldn't make my own contribution.
I think you can have the floor now. The host muted all of us. The co-host, sorry, that's Mr. Adetola. I think he's having a
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hello?
We can hear you loud and clear.
We can hear you.
Oh,
Go
okay.
on,
All right. I just have a few things to talk about. I know the emotions are high, and I would rather we just try to have a conversation. Let it be issue based. So on the issue of Batified, I think I'm a Lagos, born, bred in Lagos before I actually relocated to the US. I still have my business in Lagos, but I have a lot of problems when people try to overhype Lagos State. In terms of health, at least, even BAT still travels abroad to seek healthcare. in terms of education, Peter Obi floors BAT in terms of education, and WAEC is a testimony to that. I don't blame the earlier speaker who said, you know, if you can't be a beneficiary of free WAEC and you not stand, you know, in line with your benefactor, that is understandable. I understand it. But Lagos State, there are 1,001 schools in Lagos State with no roofs, no chairs, nothing in Lagos. You can't even compare what Baba Jakonde did in terms of education with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's incomparable. Come to housing. There's no free housing. I have fathers
Hello, please. Can you hear
who
me?
were civil servants, and they got housing in the era of Jakonde. Those houses they built from the days of Fashola to Hambody. Some of those houses were sold in millions when the minimum wage is 30,000 naira in Lagos State. And lastly, I want to talk about transportation. Okay, I live in New York City, and one of the best jobs you can always get in New York City is probably when you work with Metropolitan Transport Authority, which is MTA. It is a decent pay. But Lagos, as a melting point, still has transportation in the hands of miscreants. It is saddening. It is disappointing, to say the least. Thank you. I submit.
Okay, Adesola, can you hear me? Am I the only one? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. I think
I
Mr.
can hear
Adesola
you.
is having a
I can hear
network
you.
issue.
Okay, I have a question for Alabi. Can I ask my question?
Please go on. Please, you have the floor, sir. You can ask your
All
question.
right, thank you. All right, so earlier when Mr. Alabi Opeyemi was making his submission, I can see for a fact, which of course is quite common among many Nigerians, that there is a faulty understanding, and I stand to be corrected, mind you, that there's a faulty understanding of the word good governance. Now, so I'm going to be putting this question to you, Opeyemi. Please, can you tell the House,
Okay.
what are the metrics what are the metrics in which good governance is measured? I want to have an understanding of what you think of good governance. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your question a lot. And I think the metrics of good governance, to me, what I understand it on is about plan. You understand? I think that's the first stage of good governance. You need a leader that has a plan. And second, you need a leader that believes in himself. And the third is continuity. I think to me, according to me, I'm not trying to generalize it. I think that is what I can call metrics of a good leader. You need a plan, you need to believe in your plan, then you need continuity. If you have a plan and you don't believe in executing it, I think it's a wrong plan. And if you have a plan, you execute it, and there's no way of continuity, I don't think the plan is going to last long. And I think this is one of the things that is affecting us in Nigeria. You see a lot of governors, they stop projects by the previous governors because they have one beefing or the other, the continuity is not there. So I think this continuity is very, very important. It's one of the metrics we need to take a look when it comes to expatiating the good governance. And mind you, integrity, human development are also part of it. But to me, there's a lot of subdivision under the good governance. But according to me, I just believe, with what I've seen in Ashiwaju, I just believe that you need to have a plan. You need to believe in a plan in order to execute it, and continuity. And I want to chip in something that we have been missing since day one. Peter Obi, when he was the governor of Anambra State, he did not believe in a local economic development. What is local economic development? Local economic development is when you give your local government the chance to perform. 8 years of Peter Obi as the governor of Anambra State, he did not conduct any local government election. He was
Shut up,
there.
my friend. Shut up. Stop making falsified claims here. You have been making a lot of these claims here, and I've just been ignoring. Go and do proper research before you come here and spew nonsense. How can you say that Peter Obi did not conduct local government elections in Anambra State?
Use a good language.
Don't say that again. Don't say that. Don't say that. You are lying.
than shut up, then you could just come up with the facts
No,
instead of
you have
telling
to
me to
shut
shut
up
up.
because you are lying. You are
That's not a good
lying.
language. I can easily leave this page. Shutting up, telling me to
What
shut
is
up.
not
Very
good? What is not a good
I
language
think
is
we should
you
be
actually
we
telling me
should
to
be
saying
shut
things that
up.
is
mindful
not
of our
happening.
Okay,
choice of
okay,
words.
it's okay,
Respectful, sir.
please. It's okay, please. It's okay, please.
Can I
It
All
does
right,
can I
not
please.
say
make
Telling me to
any
something?
shut
sense.
up.
Can I say something?
Telling me to shut up
See,
is very
my brother, let
disrespectful.
me tell you. I
Telling me to
invited
shut
you to
up
this
is
place because I
very.
wanted us to
You
engage on
invited
an
me to
intellectual
this
level,
place.
not
You
for you to
invited me
come
to
and
this
lie.
place.
Not for you to come and just bring up
Wait.
falsified
You
claims
invited me to this place did not mean
support
you
your
have the
Can
right
I
narrative.
have the floor, please?
to you don't
What
have
do
the
you mean
right
by
to
P2P
come to
not
any
Adesola,
house.
election in
please.
8
Adesola
years,
Montez,
local government
please.
election in 8 years?
Hello?
Can I have the floor back?
Yes,
Telling
go
me to
ahead.
shut up, I think it is highly disrespectful. You can easily come with your own fact, but telling me to shut up is highly disrespectful, and I think I won't do that. Inviting me to your space did not mean you can talk to me.
You did it earlier. When you told me when you said that
Can I
perhaps your
land?
opponent does not understand English,
Can I
you made
land?
that statement here. I ignored you.
Can I
You're not the only
land?
one that can pick
You
offense,
don't
my
need
friend.
to
You know.
ignore
So
me.
the
You don't need
simple.
to
Let
ignore
me tell
me.
you what is
You
clear here
don't
is
need
that
to
you
ignore
are
me.
making
You need to
falsified
come up with
claims.
your.
You
Then come out
obviously
with your
did
facts.
not do any research. You are just
Then
making
come out
stuff
with your
up from
facts
your
instead of
head.
telling me to shut up. Then come
No,
out with your facts.
You
Hello?
are the one. Back up what you
Come
said.
out
Back up
with
what you
your
said.
facts, sir.
Hello,
P2P
Come
winners.
contested
out with
local
your
government
facts.
elections in
Don't tell me
Anambra
to
State.
shut up. Telling me to shut
please.
And
up.
that is the fact.
We are not having debate again. We're
There
not
are
having
no two
debate
ways
again.
about it.
Let's
I
give ourselves.
think the person behaving like an Agbero now is the person representing Peter Obi. I would never tell you to shut up. If you make a wrong fact, I will come it and counter with you. I'll counter you with a fact that you invite me to your space doesn't give you any legal right or any moral right to tell me to shut up. I have a family. I have people that look up to me, telling me to shut up in front of about 200 people.
You get to a point where
Highly
you cross the line.
disrespectful.
P2P has a family too.
I
P2P,
did not.
you
Then you come out and counter me.
you
You said a lot of
can't
things.
keep respect, my
You
brother.
said a lot of
You have
things
been
about
disrespecting
Asiwaju
P2P
July.
here. You have been disrespecting
Are
P2P here by
you
making
here?
falsified
Are you
claims.
here?
In all aspects, I've never misconstrued your words. I've never said any negative thing about your candidate because that
Are you
was
here
all
to tell Peter Obi, or you are
we're
here
going
to fight for him?
discuss on an intellectual capacity. But you have
You're
been
not
maligning P2P
choosing to be
here
intellectual.
since. And because I
You're
told
not
you shut up,
choosing.
you are feeling insulted. While you have been insulting P2P here for the past 1 hour. Don't do that. Don't gatekeep respect. If you want respect, give respect.
One ounce, please. Hello? Can you hear me?
You have the floor. You have the floor.
Oh, please. Irefi and Mr. Alabi, I understand we are actually showing our patriotism in different, forms and shape. But please, let's just be mindful of our choice of words. Even social media, they have rules. There are some words that are not, supposed to be used. The issue of short, using the F words, profanity, we have like over 600 people here. You'll be amazed. Some people are listening in their cars and they have children in the car. So please, let's be mindful of our choice of words. Either you are batified, you are obedient, respect is reciprocal. The moment we start trading words, it's devoid of the intellect. So let's just speak on facts, please.
And I think by the virtue of my standard, by the virtue of who I am, I don't think I can continue this space again because we have diverted from what we are doing to another thing entirely. I believe if I come up with the wrong fact, you can come and counter me with a better fact. And that's how you win. That's how you win debate. I've been on TV station, radio station, a lot of programs, and I've not seen the moderator or my challenger telling me to shut up. So I think by this virtue,
Yeah,
I'll be signing
I've
off.
also been on many discussions, and I've not heard where a challenger tells the other person that they don't understand English. If you want respect, you give respect. You don't shift the goalpost. Give respect if you want to take respect, and that is that.
Hello? we are still trading words. Mr. Alabi, you have heard. Mr. Iregbe, you have heard too. Let's move forward, or we just call it a day. You understand? So let's just, Mr. Alabi, I heard when you said, English is his problem. I was amazed. I was taken aback, but I felt, well, maybe, But Mr. Iregbe, you took it up. Both of you have scored 1 point each. Debate. And I'm sure a lot of people want to learn from all this. But as far as I'm concerned, I want a better life for my children. I want better life for people in Nigeria. But don't let us try to overhype Lagos State. Lagos State is a melting point. It's the state with 2 ports. The federal airport is there. It used to be a federal capital. So I think Lagos is being overhyped. So Lagos, even the basics. I grew up in Lagos where we drank water from the taps. We used to go to Alajiota to fetch water in Mushi. But Lagos State Water Corporation is dead. These are basics. Water, healthcare, education. Don't let us start talking about those white elephant projects of dualization of if I'm not healthy. And Lagos is synonymous to track. Them are APC miscreants. That's the reason why nobody in Lagos, including the people on this platform, nobody wants to deal with last man because their level of IQ, they don't even understand the job. Aside from just exploitation, that's the only part they understand. That was the only memo they got. So let's talk about healthcare. I took my daughter about 3 years ago to Lasut for just ear infection, and my daughter was given 8-month appointment for an ear infection. At the end, I spoke to one of the nurses. They gave us a referral. It was the same doctor as Lasut that owns one of the clinics. So don't let us talk about even Batify just got back. So let's this conversation be issue based. I understand if BAT wins, to God be the glory. We just want a better Nigeria. But I just felt he's not the best candidate for 2023. My opinion.
I think this guy has space. He left space immediately. He made his last. I think going forward, because the purpose of this space is actually to engage, critically with him, but unfortunately, looking at the turn of events, with the way my emotions played out because of some certain, elements that just didn't go as I planned it, So let me just use the next minutes to clarify certain things. If you would pay attention, please, my obedience. Now, why did I host this space? If you've been following me, you would understand that I'm a very direct person. I like to kind of make statements that stirs up, emotion in opposition. Because I noticed that this was what these Tinubu supporters, especially, were doing. And it clouded the the space, like the discussions, so we could not critically access certain information that we need to know about these candidates because we've driven. This was the purpose of my space. This is not violent space or whatever you want. Created this because I want to engage with somebody on an intellectual capacity. For Saddam to come here and tell me I am not doing justice, who is also an obedient with me, who I've also even known for a very long time, to come openly, to come and tell me I'm not doing justice, that is fucked up. That is bullshit. If you don't understand what somebody is trying to do, ask questions. I made this space for a reason. I did not name it violent space. I did not name it violent space or whatever. It is a space to engage on an intellectual capacity. So I find it totally appalling that somebody will come. A lot of people have been going through the comments, I've been going through the quotes on this space. People saying I'm a mole. This person should never represent obedience again. This person is too dull, and what have you. Okay, you saw when I flared out. I'm sure most of you did not understand what I was saying at that point, because you cannot be shouting and try and drive your point home. I want to engage critically. Obedience, you people should respect yourselves and stop hurling insults for no reason. This is going to be our downfall. This toxicity that you're talking about, we are showing these traits. It is time to call a spade, because I don't see any reason why me, Iwefi, with the level of commitment I've put into this, of commitment with the community, not just online, offline. I have a support group which is in 22 states or 23 states of the country. I've spent my money without asking anybody a dime. With the level of support I have given to other support groups, and because I want to interact on my own terms, somebody now comes on my space to want to dictate how I'm supposed to talk. That is totally disrespectful. That is totally appalling. And one thing I've noticed is most of these people that always think they have opinion, it is online. Their influence ends only online. Because I don't see, Saddam, you came here to tell me that I haven't seen you on the streets. You are not even in Nigeria at the moment. But I am on the streets every other weekend with my people. I'm on the street, I'm in the villages every other time, apart from the fact that I spend my money, I do the work, I put the energy. I'm in Abuja, I live in Abuja. You can ask any Labour Party member in Abuja, ask of Irefi, they all know me. I was a member of the coalition for P2B that organized the 2 summits that we had. For somebody to come and tell me I'm a mole because I was having a discussion on my own terms is actually very, very disrespectful. And let this be the first and last time in all my dealings with obedience, I've never blocked anybody, because I always think that when brothers fight, there should be room for reconciliation, That was why when Rinu blocked me yesterday, I kind of felt bad because I know that she's a strong ally in this movement. And I've also seen that, she has shown her own level of toxicity too. And I don't know whether people have been blocking her. So when she blocked me because I made a statement that didn't align with hers, I tweeted it to seek people's opinion. I don't block people. But after this night, I'm sure I'm going to block at least 100 people on my page, because it actually makes no sense. The level of toxicity that you guys show is damn too much. It is unfounded. It does not make any sense. How do you guys feel like knowing fully well that somebody is using their resources to do the level of work they are doing, and because of one incident, it could be that I was dulling. But do you know if it's part of my game plan? It could be that I was misrepresenting according to you. Did that mean you have to accuse me of being a mole? Does being an obedient mean that you have to be arrogant? So I have to shout at you saw from the point where I started raising my voice, the opponent left. So Is this what they were expecting me to do from the beginning of this space? To be at the top of my voice when I am trying to extract information from this guy. I want to extract information from him to understand. And you see, when these guys came and started playing these negative elements, the guy trivialized the whole thing. And that is why he started talking about Peter Obi's last election and all that. We discussed, we agreed that we were going to have this conversation on a certain level. No insults, no condescending words, no trivializing any matter. Just discuss like two rational human beings, two young people that want the good, the progress of their country. Because at the end of the day, whoever wins in this election, we are still Nigerians. So ultimately, whatever discussion I'm having here with anybody is for the progress of Nigeria. So when somebody, for no reason, you come to accuse me on my own space, man, fuck you. Fuck you and go to hell. Don't try that shit with me again. Saddam, fuck you and go to hell. Don't try that shit with me again. Immediately after this, I'm going to block you. That is bullshit. I've never come on your violent space to say any nonsense about you. I've never come on your violent space to say you are doing this, you are doing that. It is your space. You have the tenets. You know why you start the space. You know what you're trying to achieve with that space. And you go by it, and your people of like minds come to that space to vent according to how you guys call it. I probably have been on that space maybe 3 or 4 times, and I've requested the mic only one time because of a claim that somebody made, which I had to quickly clarify. I don't go there to vent because it is not something that I do. I have the way that I engage critically. It is not by going to space and shout, raise my voice. Because when I communicate, if you follow my tweets, I back them up. I don't just make tweets and trivialize matters. When I make tweets, I back them up, I give proof. I make tweets that anybody can relate to, even when the opposition see it, they know that this guy is saying the truth. So for you to expect me to come and act like a tout because you are an Aberu, or because you are hosting violent space, and therefore everybody has to be violent like you, that is bullshit. Saddam, fuck you. Go to hell. That is nonsense. That is very, very disrespectful. That is totally appalling. You have not done 1/10 of what I've done in this movement. I challenge you, I dare you. You have not. I'm not trying to blow my trumpet, but at some point I have to clarify certain things. I have to straighten out issues. I know what I have done. I'm not saying this to glorify myself. I'm not doing this for any recognition. But it is because these people that think that they have an opinion, and through expressing that opinion, they have to use condescending words to trample down somebody, to make the person feel irrelevant, to alienate the way genuine feelings, their hard work, their commitment. I have to straighten it out because these people don't do anything apart from coming online to host spaces and rants. That is not what is going to win us this election. We have been on the grassroots. We have been on the grassroots, galvanizing support and doing everything we can to consolidate this victory for Peter Obi. And because you think you host one dirty, violent space where you come every day to talk bullshit, you think you can create the narrative, you come and dictate how I'm going to talk on my own space, man, fuck you and go to hell. Saddam, fuck you and go to hell. Don't try that shit again. I had huge level of respect for you, but what you did tonight is totally appalling. And I'm not going to take it from you. I'm not going to take it from the bastard, the other guy that came, because I know that both of you came from the same space. Both of you are always on your violent space. I know the guy, and fuck him too. That is bullshit. That is disrespectful. You don't do that. You don't come to my space where I have structured the way I want to get information, structured how I want to engage with somebody, to come and tell me how to talk, to call me a move, to say that I'm dull, to say this guy, let it be the first and last time this guy is going to represent me. Well, fuck you. Am I, like, what business do I owe you shit? Do I owe you? Do I owe any of you anything? This is my space. I called on a Tinubu supporter to engage with me. If I wanted a Tinubu supporter to engage with obedience, I would have indicated. But I wanted him to engage with me. I did not invite any of you here to come and add your voice. I invited for you to come and listen. And everybody have the way they apply their decisions. Everybody have the way they implement what they have in their head. Some people maybe can start violently from the beginning. Some people like to take their time and eventually, raise the tension as they're going. I have the way I do my things. You can't come now to my space and tell me bullshit. Fuck you again, Saddam. Fuck you, the other guy. I don't know what your name is. And every one of you who has been saying bullshit in the threads, in the comments, fuck all of you. You guys are the reason why they call obedience toxic people. Because one cannot have a divergent view from yours without you raining insults, hurling insults at this person. Despite the fact that both of you are on the same page, both of you are on the same team. And what hurts the most, like I've said before, is that these people that feel they can always say things, they don't do anything apart from talking online. At this point, I'm going to end this space because if I keep talking, I'm totally pissed off this night. I'm not someone that likes to let Twitter or anything, social media, anything online get to me, but I'm totally pissed because when the people you are fighting for, are the ones that now have to come and say nonsense about you, it hurts differently, because I know how I have committed myself. Even when I see a lot of tweets that obedience make that don't even make sense in any way, but because I know that we're on the same team, because I know that we are fighting the same, and I don't want to give opportunity to the opposition team. I find it like this stuff this night totally pissed me off. It does not make any sense, and obedience. We can't keep doing this. We can't. They say that social media is a leveler, and truly, because certainly there are a lot of people that can say a lot of shit here, but when they see you physically, they can't even look you in the eye. But because social media has given us the platform, all of us are now equal. You can now just buy data on your cheap techno phone. You come and postulate your nonsense opinion because you think that there will be no consequences. After all, you are on social media, nothing will happen. You just insult anybody, say things. I'm going to end this space now. And please, my followers, please. I know that a lot of people. I won't say if I've disappointed you, by the way I've expressed my emotions this night. But I would like to really apologize because I know the way I wanted this engagement to be. I wanted it to be a facts-based discussion. I wanted it to be an issue-based discussion. I wanted to extract information, and I know that most of you who follow me, or a lot of you who follow me, you saw the same thing that I was trying to do, and that is why you're here, and that is why a lot of you are still here at this point. So unfortunately, these elements came with their vices and distracted me, and I couldn't effectively achieve what I set out to do. And truly, I'm sorry. I'm deeply, deeply, deeply embarrassed. But at the same time, I'm sorry because this is not how I expected this thing to go. I never thought I would at any point raise my voice in this conversation because I wanted it to be factual, respectful, straight to the matter, So please, I am sincerely sorry for my followers who I have let down. Please from the depth of my heart, I sincerely apologize. I am deeply sorry for what's happened here this night. And I promise you that it is not going to happen again. If I would host another space to have any discussion, something like this is not going to